Hey guys, it's RC here. I'm going to come back with just this short video. I'm just kind of running the end of the season. We got Tulane blew us out in the bowl game. Alright, so that's telling me that we should not have lost that game, I'm thinking. 51 passes, 38 rushes, probably due to being behind. No turnovers. Very limited time of possession. Alright, so time of possession is another thing I want to look at. So we want to maybe slow down the tempo for next year. Alright, well that sucked. I'm just going to go ahead and sim these games. After this week, I want to kind of pull up the stats. And then we can kind of see. Wow, so Louisville and Utah both won. Okay, that's surprising. Alright, team stats. And we want to go by regular season, actually all conferences. Rushing. They don't have rushing attempts. I wish there was a way to see rushing attempts. But this is passing yards. This is rushing yards. So Utah, but they're not in the top passing. Middle Tennessee, Boise State, us. Washington, Nevada, North Texas, New Mexico, San Jose, Navy. So we don't have any duplication here. And we did finish 4th in the nation in rushing. Now, let's click on us. Quick stats, is that what we want? See, this is something else I'd like to see. 238 per game, 1st in the conference, 7th in the league. 7th in the conference, 80th in the league in passing in total yards, 6th and 57th in points. We had the number 1 defense point wise, number 1 rush defense in the league, 15th in the country, 2nd in the conference, 29th in the country in total yardage, 3rd against the pass, 71st. Okay. That's quick stats. Let's look at team stats here. Well, see, now we rank 1st in yards. What happened there? Oh, that's by conference. Okay. Yeah, if we go to all conferences, then we're 4th. So that's probably not bad. What I wanted to see was, it's not going to tell me what I want to see. I'm trying to see how many carries we had as a team. Team news, nope. Quick stats, nope. Overview, nope. So it looks like the only way to figure out your actual carries is to come into your roster. No, there's. Alright, I'm just not seeing it right now. stats right there. There we go. All right, rushing, but there are no totals. 2, 4, 5, 520, 530, 580, 610, 630, 640, 680, 690, 700. Wow. 725 carries roughly. 725. That's a lot of carries. That's a lot of carries. All right, now I want to go to see. I don't know if I can even look at their stats, but let's go to Utah. Nope. Oh, wait. Utah. There we go. Stats. Rushing. 3, 5, 620, 630, 7, 750, 760. All right, so they had about the same number, about 40 more carries than we did, 35 to 40 more carries. So they're still putting up 700 carries. I'm not sure that that's the numbers I'm looking for. Now, you have to keep in mind, we did tweak these numbers up in the So it could be that when we changed these to increase the runs and the rushing yardage, that skewed the numbers a little bit. Because remember, my goal was not to change the league as a whole. It was to just try to get more a more refined carries per player that we would look at in a in an option attack. So I'm just, and I'm sitting here just kind of thinking to myself, and some of it's out loud, and that's why I'm just kind of fading out here a little bit. But I think yardage wise we were okay. The carries seem a little excessive, but we did dial that back at the end of the season. So maybe a full year of looking at that. Some of these things are some things that I'm going to need to adjust for next season to try some of the things that they're looking at. Okay, well that's let's go ahead real quick. So I kind of wanted to get to that point for the end of the year, and I wanted to look at the carries, the yardage. So that could have been worse. Oh, this lag towards the end of the season is just numbing. All right, we got an email. All right, all conference. Well, our fullback made all conference. Center, guard made all conference. Defensive tackle, corner, free safety, and kicker made all conference. No All Americans. That's okay. Let's go ahead and just knock out the season. One day. Alright, that'll sim the week. Let me just check our timer here. Yeah, we're just 9 minutes into the video. 37-20, Louisville wins the national championship. Just out of curiosity, let's check that box score. 36 passes, 51 rushes for Utah, 29 and 45 for Louisville. So we still see pretty heavy runs. The other thing I'm going to do between videos is I want to go into one of my other games and make sure that these numbers here are the same as what they are for other games. I want to dial that back. Awards. Cincinnati's quarterback James Dumas, Heisman winner. Utah's running back got the Doak Walker Award. I'd like to see us be able to edit those award names or have a mod for actual, the Buckus Award, the Lou Groza, whatever. Anybody from ours? Louisville, Michigan. Nope, the Cincy quarterback kind of took home everything. Now this is where it gets a little weird. If you have not gotten to the end of the season, I close that. It looks like something's not happening, but it is, so you have to wait. The Senior Bowl. This, I've actually had some glitches in the past, but I'm going to skip the Senior Bowl. And then you just have to give it a minute to catch up. There you go. Now you see it working. And let's go ahead and in the season. And this will take a few minutes, but basically we want to see where our recruiting class ended up and everything else. All right, so we are losing our senior running back, both tackles, 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, punter. It's a pretty long list there. Now here's something, if you didn't know this, they have, Draft Day Sports from Wolverine has the college football game. They also have a pro football game. So right here is where you could export your draft class, and then you could import that into your pro game for the next season for the draft. So they do work in conjunction. And we already hit in season, so right here we have to, again, give it a few minutes to catch up. And new season. Signing day. This is the day that we officially get our players, and you could actually continue recruiting up till that point because they just had recruits sign as well. So all right, so here is our draft list. We picked up 3 5-stars, 10 4-stars, and 11 3-stars for our team this year. I don't know, is this the actual recruiting class ranking? Did we just get that? That would be something that would be very good to have. Almanac. Yeah, it would be nice to have the recruiting class. We're preseason number 2. But yeah, that would be something else I'd like to see added, is the historical draft classes. I'm making a note of that here because I don't see that. All right, now we need to get back in to train. I'm not going to change that, so we're going to go ahead and run training camps. All right, we had 18-point gains. Nobody was negatives. So that's good. Set red shirts. All right, now let's come take a look at our freshmen. All right, so Guyton, guard, a 4-star, 81. Well, let's come by position. There we go. All right, so we have 4 freshman quarterbacks. We've got a 92, an 87, a 93, and an 84. Okay, now if we sort by agility, Muller is still the best one we got. So even these guys that had, you know, really high agility and speed still are not getting there. So it's really trying to interpret what the word description, exceptional, unique, great, outstanding, what do those actually mean? And I don't know the answer to that. Because, you know, I think every one of these quarterbacks that we recruited had numbers or words that indicated they would be very good. Now, keep in mind, he is a 92 as a freshman, so he's a stud. He will get better as the years progress. So we could see an improvement in speed, in agility. All of these numbers could tweak up closer to 100. And his 92 OVR, he could end up to be a 99 OVR in, you know, a couple of years. Okay? So first thing I want to do is come into all my freshmen, and we're going to edit them into running quarterbacks. All right, now what's his? Not very fast, not very agile, so he's not going to be a very good fit for us. In fact, I think he would be so bad that we would say we don't want him running a lot. Would you agree with that? I would. Bill Fiore, no agility, no speed. I'm going to leave him off. And he's a 3-star. So I am actually going to, I can't change his position. So I'm going to cut him. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I have so many quarterbacks, I'm going to release him. I'm just going to kick him off the team. He wasn't horrible, but he certainly was not able to... Hello, John. Oh boy. Whatever I did, Siri woke up. All right, Francisco Harden. Again, no speed, no agility. Can't move him at all. I'm going to cut him too. Johnson, I think we already changed him. I think he's high enough. He's close. I mean, 73. He's close to that 75 range. So we're going to keep him. And then, of course, they're, you know, they're really good. Plus, he's a good passer. So I don't think I want him running. So we're going to turn that off. And so our average for quarterbacks is 89. So anybody over 89 is above average. Okay, so Muller's actually dragging us down as a sophomore. Augustine will graduate this year, so it doesn't do me any good to cut him. And I think I'm going to redshirt him. I could probably redshirt both of them, but do I want to risk both of them leaving? I don't remember if I turned that off. I don't even remember if that was an option. All right. So even though they're good quarterbacks, I don't know that. Well, you know what? Hold on. All right, signing day summary. We picked up 3 people as walk-ons or at last minutes to fill our scholarships. So you do get that. They're projecting us to finish in the top 10. Fans think we should win the conference championship. Recruiting class, so we are now number 3. So here's where the official, so we finished number 3, and our relative rank is 16. So not bad. Very happy with that. All right, let's take a look at that roster again. So do I want, all right, speed, he's second in agility. Intelligence, much more intelligent. You know what? I am going to remove his red shirt. He's going to be the guy I'm going to go with this year. Maybe I cut Muller. Augustine's a passer. I want to take that off of him. So, now we're starting to game plan a little bit. Okay, well, I want to run this option. I'd like my quarterback to run in a perfect world, but the guys that I have currently are not the best runners. So, we turn the run off to kind of force the situation. All right, so let's go back to speed again. All right, so yeah, I still think I'm going to redshirt Carpenter. Fullerton is a senior. Yeah, he's going to be a passer. He's a good-looking passer too, but that's not what we're going for here. Now, maybe what we can do is when we go into game planning, we have a running quarterback for the running formations, passing quarterback for the passing formations, and we can dial that in. It just depends on how detailed you want to get, right? All right, so just out of curiosity, so Fullerton is our 5th-year senior. He's still slated to start. Johnson's number 2. Mares is number 3. Okay, so that makes some sense. All right. Freshman running back, Reynolds. Speed, last. So he needs to redshirt. I've got a bunch of upperclassmen. We'll redshirt him this year. Fullback, run blocking is going to be our priority here, but I want some speed with that. So actually, Gordon looks to be my better fullback. Then Hargrove, and then Hinkle. So he'll be back next year. So because I picture him as number 2. Hargrove. Let's look at Hinkle. So it has not put Hargrove in there though. All right, well let's go ahead and redshirt him then. Tight ends. He's a senior. Sanchez, I'm going to go ahead and cut him. And I've got a junior here, so I'm going to go ahead and redshirt Paxton. Not very many, no good run blockers. Bless me. So we're looking at speed, hands. Let's go ahead and sort them out by class. So this freshman here actually looks maybe to be the best of the bunch. I've already redshirted this guy and this guy. Speed, hands. Alright, so there's really nobody to redshirt if he's going to be my number 2 receiver. So your OVR takes everything into consideration. So when you're specializing in a particular offense, that may not be your best indicator. So we want to come down and look at run blocking. All right, this freshman is not very good right now, but he's an 80 already as a freshman. So let's redshirt him. Same thing with this guy. Let's redshirt both of them. And that's all we're trying to figure out right here is redshirting. Certainly going to redshirt him. All right, this, I may actually cut some of these guys. All right, senior's going to graduate. Junior. Well, they're all pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and still redshirt my freshman. And I'll have 2 seniors leaving this year, so we'll be okay there. 2 players. I want to redshirt him. He's actually going to end up being one of my starters, I bet, so we'll go with that. He's last, so we'll redshirt him. We'll redshirt him. I don't know if I can redshirt. Yeah, I can. Okay. Now I've got 2 of these guys. They're both pretty good. Let me see. All right, what I'm looking for here is my OVR. So he's an 88 as a free safety. He's a 90 as a corner. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Some reason I don't think it takes out the numbers that are already assigned. I wish if you personally assigned a number that number came off the board for the time being, unless you remove it. That may make sense. All right, so free safety. All right, now we only have 3. And we can go back up to corner. And that freshman that we just moved now becomes our best cornerback. Okay. So we're going to set red shirts. And we're to the regular season. All right, so where are we at time-wise here? 29 minutes. Let's go ahead and put a cut here. I am going to go in and reread some of the information that's been sent to me. I'm going to try to make some tweaks to the settings based on their suggestions, and then we'll start the season with the quarterback box ticked or not ticked, depending on the quarterback strength. And then we'll get back into looking at the playbooks and starting to track how some of those are affected by what we do. But the settings that I'll be looking at are supposedly only going to impact the play calling for our team and not the league as a whole. I also want to go look at my other league that is still in default setting and make sure that those options that I have that I did change are back to what they were, because there's not an option to restore to default that I found. So I may need to adjust some of those. I'll do those off camera. Um, and then I'm not sure. What I might do is I might go ahead and play a whole season here by myself, because like I said, I've got 10 episodes now ready to go, and we just put up episode 4 today. So by the time, if I play, probably the next week, I'll probably be able to get through another season, and then we can actually sit down and evaluate some results. I'll have to think about that, because I don't want you guys to miss any gameplay, but because that's part of the video series. But honestly, right now this is more trying to dial in the attack, and it's kind of hard to do that when I'm doing it in 30-minute chunks and only able to post one video a day. If I went ahead and played for 3 or 4 hours today and knocked out a season, then I could be that much further ahead of the game in evaluating it and knowing what we were dealing with. So I'll give that some thought, but that may happen. I may go ahead and do a season without you guys following along. We'll come back and do the end of the season review, right at the end of the season. You guys can see what kind of results we had, and then we can kind of spend most of that wrap-up video basically evaluating my findings. And then at that point, hopefully we've got something dialed in that we feel comfortable with, and then we can move forward at that point with our career. Of course, this was just the whole purpose of this particular Let's Play was to try to get the option working. So I don't know, maybe that's, this is not going to maybe be a long-term career. With a long-term career, I probably need to start off as a young coach at a lesser school, and get promoted up through the ranks instead of starting with an Oklahoma. That would probably be more of a career play. So maybe we do record this one and just kind of go through the steps, because I probably won't play with the option in the next one. Like I said in my very first video, this is something I usually try to do at least once just to see if it works. Typically it doesn't. As we saw with this one, it really didn't, but then we found some information that we've been able to tweak it a little bit. I think we've got it heading in the right direction, and there are a few new things that we do want to try the upcoming season. So maybe that's the direction we go, is we continue to record this, and shoot, I might have all these recorded and finished, and then I may just start a new career, and then we'll have 2 of these going simultaneously. We'll just have to see. So thanks for following along this year. I hope you've seen a little bit that impresses you. The game is a solid game. It's very in-depth, very detailed. Like I said, I highly recommend getting the demo and checking it out. The whole purpose for this was to play around with the option attack, and that's why I chose the Sooners. But anyway, we'll probably press on at least another season with Oklahoma, because there are some new things that I do have to test to really get a comfort level for this option attack. I do want to try some of the recruiting that we thought about at the end of recruiting for next year or for the upcoming year on how to find these dual threat quarterbacks in the pantheon of all the quarterbacks that are there, without having to maybe recruit 18 of them and landing 5 only to find out they don't really fit our needs. At least not for the scheme that we're running. Certainly I would be very happy to have the number 3 or number 15 rated prospect in the country calling signals for me in general any other time. That's why I didn't throw them to the side, but they're still not at that position to really be the beneficial running threat that we would like there. So anyway, we've got a lot of testing to do still. We'll move on with that, and like I said, I don't know if I'm going to just go ahead and play ahead without recording, but now I'm kind of leaning towards recording it because I want this to be kind of a definitive option compendium for anybody that buys this game. They can come and say, okay, if I want to run the option, here's two or three seasons worth of videos that I can kind of figure it out. They can see everything that we've done, and then of course we'll come back and do, say, a closing video at some point with kind of everything wrapped up in a nutshell. What settings should you do? How should you dial this in? What kind of players should you be looking for? We've kind of hit that, but it's been sporadic throughout, and because we're still testing, I think we probably will owe you guys a video just to wrap that up into one neat little package at the end of all this. So that'll be something down the road as well. All right, well, hey, thanks for watching this season. I hope you've gotten something out of it. I do thank you for following along and subscribing to my channel if you have. We will see you next time. Take care.